Good morning and welcome to another wonderful episode of Wake Up Nigeria. It's a Thursday morning. Well, some people call it the eve of the weekend. Well, that is exactly what it is. The penultimate day. It's great to have you. We are here.
Yes, we definitely are here to kickstart your day with some fun, laughter, and of course, valuable information.
There's a whole stuff lined up for you this morning. We have T-Flo in the house. She's already started preparing. T-Flo.
Yes, I was getting some toast when I walked into the studio.
Oh, toast. Talking about toast, man. Your recent obsession with tea is... Well, what type of tea is this? Because from what I can see...
Green tea, some mint detox tea, some lemon.
What are you trying to detox, Daddy? What are you detoxing?
Mike, before I met all of you, I had a very disciplined routine, morning routine.
What are you detoxing?
But since I came to this place, I don't even know what happened.
Danny, you disappear. What are you detoxing? I don't know. Yeah. Please, oh. Okay. Well, if that does help, then definitely that is one routine you would love to follow. My name is Mike Mesikeno.
And my name is Winfrey Agbelishe. Remember, you can watch the show live on GOTV, and of course, you can find us on channel 16 and your chef channel 49. Now, you can also stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv on Facebook and on TVC Connect, right?
There's also an app that you can download, Android and iOS, and you can follow us. Let's get straight to what we have this morning.
We have an arts piece right here. Identify the art.
Yes, identify it.
And everybody's wondering what's going on.
I don't think we are.
We don't deserve. You see, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Chief.
Chief Mr.
President, TVC Women's Network. President, Rewire Africa. Empress, MM. Wow. It's MM's birthday today. And so we can't excuse this work of art for today because normally... What? I love this, MM. Tell us, how old are you today?
The question, Mike.
You never ask a lady how old she is.
You're a lady? I thought you were a goddess.
I am a goddess. Never ask a goddess because she keeps aging like fine wine.
They're ageless.
Ageless, yeah.
They're ageless.
But today I'm a +1, and you know, to commemorate my birthday, I'm having something very special this weekend for you female entrepreneurs. As we all know, we women around the world, some of us are doing more than one business, are still working and still wifing and mothering. It's a lot of responsibility. So this weekend, to commemorate my birthday, I'm going to empowering female. I'm going to empowering female entrepreneurs on skills to help them get access to funding opportunities, especially in these times where, you know, the economy is biting hard on a lot of businesses. A lot of businesses are closing down. There are organizations that have fundings for female entrepreneurs. And so there's that knowledge gap, right? And that is what we'll be doing this weekend. So come through to the American Corner on Saturday if you're a female businesswoman. Let's, you know, come and learn some skills. Come and equip yourself, empower yourself. There's so much that's going to be learned. It's going to be taught as well on graphic design. You don't need to pay a graphic designer again to do your graphic design.
Right?
We are not taking the graphic designers out of businesses, no. But there's nothing wrong with a woman being able to run her own, you know, designs. Do your own designs, graphic design, put it on social media, sharp. No time wasted. You're going to be taught on that. You're going to also be taught on how to structure your business, because we've learned that a lot of women, or a lot of people actually, it's survival mode when you think business. You just want to buy and sell and make money. But then we'll help you how to structure your business, develop that business idea. Yeah, I know, right? So there's so much that's going to be taught. And there's also an exhibition as well, right? So far we have over 55 female women that are going to be exhibiting at the summit. So I'm pretty excited about this weekend. Saturday, please.
You know, it's quite easy to know when someone is passionate about something, because this is the most fluent I've ever heard him speak from him.
Wow.
We just go, well then, happy birthday, ma'am. And of course, Saturday, so go out for that.
I'm really passionate about this project because this
support the goddess.
Since last year, I said my goal was going to be impact. right? And so far since I made that decision, it's been, you know, making impact from one area. If it's not about the girl child, it's about women. Yeah. But yeah, I'm on that journey. And
we
I'm
are
really
grateful that you chose positive impact as opposed to the other.
Please.
But I think it's actually great what you're doing. I mean, last week we were literally at the debates organized by TVC, Women's Network, led by you. And it was an amazing experience. I mean, the winners, their lives definitely changed for the good. Everyone walked away with the gifts, and I think it's really, really amazing.
1 million naira.
It's not a joke.
Please tell that the impact also some men. It can also
men, you people will solve
your problems by yourself.
When you are ready.
Yes.
Okay, it's not men, it's Mike. Let me patch it, Mike. Okay, now we're done with that. Please tell her. All right, so yeah, I saw something some few days back, and that was Britney Spears. This is, of course, after the latest episode of Keeping Up with the Smiths, by the way. Jada with her memoir, which she's about to release, and of course some other these things and all that. Jada mentioned something about Chris Rock asking her out on a date. And then Britney Spears now wanted to break the internet. She said that at a much younger age, she had to undergo an abortion for Justin Timberlake. As at the time, he didn't want the baby. And so, then there was now quite some heat on him, you know. And so the question is, when you, for your own sake, when you want to do that, your cleansing or your therapy or what, how much of name calling or how much of disclosure when it comes to someone else is too much? Especially when you now have to, in some way, you know, it'll color the person in some particular way. How much of it, you could have said, okay, somebody, or somebody could have said, oh, is it okay? Shouldn't you maybe want to ask the permission of somebody you shared something with at a particular point in time before you make some kind of disclosures because maybe you want to heal or what? You know, imagine someone just come and say, oh, when secondary school, this, you understand? And it starts going off about stuff, about you, personal stuff, that you wouldn't want to be out there.
Like, are you worried?
Isn't that too?
Exactly.
Are you worried?
We bring proof.
I think Britney Spears never really got over to Justin Timberlake, if we're being honest. And it's not just her. Remember Yvonne Nelson as well, when she released her book.
Okay.
It was a spill all. She mentioned names. So I think it also comes from a place of not entirely healing or forgiving. I think forgiveness is very key here because I know we handle, you know, trauma differently, but personally, right? If I have forgiven and I've healed from that situation, I forget about it. So I'll talk about the experience.
What if you've not?
Listen, like I said, I'll talk about the experience, but I won't call them out. So I said it's coming from a place of not forgiving.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, you said you forgive. If you have not forgiven, would you call them?
Yes, I will.
So why you? So that means you are the same now. You be dispersed, you for nursing. The same WhatsApp group.
I said she's not entirely healed or forgiving that person or even that situation.
I don't think so. For me, you have to. There has to be limits, especially when these are things that were done in private. That this other person. Have you found? Did you let the person
get closure?
You also find out that.
Would you want this to be out?
You also need to understand the reason behind certain things. As much as yes, a lot of people are tagging it healing, right?
Yeah.
But then again, you're talking about the book. Hello, the book has to sell.
Yeah.
You put in names. That's the only way the book will sell. If you're talking about podcasts,
business strategy.
Do you understand? So of course, yeah. At some point, people are that selfish. They don't care about the image or whatever of other people. For Jada, hello, do you need to explain? Do you need to explain that one? Of course, she knows exactly what she's doing, and she knows the effects and the buzz that will come from it. So she feels the need. In fact, whether she calls Will Smith's name now, she does not call the name. It's already implied. Do you understand? So for Britney, I will understand why. I mean, she will actually do what she's doing and then call his name and all of that. To be honest, for some weird reason, when you said Justin Timberlake, my mind went to Pharrell. I don't know why, but yeah.
Was she in a relationship with Pharrell?
No. I just said my mind just went there. And then the thing also is that, yeah, of course, if she says, okay, fine, I had an abortion for a guy. It doesn't, do you understand? And he didn't want it. No, if you put Justin Timberlake, and then you can paint the image and just first think of how beautiful the child would be or would have been. And then now think of what happened after. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think your old trauma is
You start even thinking of, like, oh, if they are giving the birth to the child will be 18 now or something. I'll tell her I'll be 20 now.
Think of the voice. What? Think of that voice, that talent.
But now we have a young Justin Timberlake.
What? Very smooth.
You're encouraging her.
No, man.
Two of you. So, but you said that if you don't forgive, you will call names. What about you? What will make you call names? Is there anything that will make you call names?
To be honest, it actually depends on the gravity, right, of whatever it is I'm dragging people for. Sometimes, even on this show, we heal. You're talking about how, oh, my friend did this, or my sister did that. Do you understand? Right? And then sometimes you're just telling the story. And I think some people believe in absoluteness. Do you understand? Like, okay, fine, if you still feel the need to preserve certain things. But I feel, I mean, when there's a situation that defames the person, you probably should talk to the person first about it. But then again, if you don't have any agreement on not spilling, I don't think
it's the same thing. It's the same thing when you just screen grab. You're talking to somebody, you not screen grab. You know those people, and now put it on your status. You see, you know that if something happens and if they think they got a lot, you could be found culpable.
Yeah.
You just screen grab somebody WhatsApp saying, bam, just put it on your status. Bam. This was done in privacy. It was done between you and the person.
Mike, there's something.
There's something.
I'm telling you.
Let me. You know, the man you come out now. I don't know who you are. Who are you? I don't know you. So please, I don't know. What do you think? Would you call somebody's name? Would you go that far? And then have you asked the question? Those that called, have they healed? Well, like, later on when they say, have they healed? Because at times they are still empty. But hey, come on. Let's know on social media. It's #WakeUpNigeria on TV. So take your time out now.
And we are back. Thanks for staying with us. Right here with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Tiflo. You have been added to my list of chefs that I sing for in the kitchen. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine. I love your dress.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Today is a birthday?
Yes, it is. And you decided to make sandwich.
Yes.
Interesting recipe.
Yeah.
For someone celebrating our birthday.
Yes.
I'm kidding. Okay, guys. So this morning, Chef Tiflo is making sandwich. And so run through the ingredients.
We have, this is chicken breast.
Okay.
This is my sliced tomatoes, cucumber. This is my lettuce, sliced bread. This is my cheddar cheese, mayonnaise, black pepper, and vinegar.
So where does the vinegar come in?
The vinegar is for you to wash the veggies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the black pepper?
Yes, to bring out the spice taste.
Yeah, the taste of the mayonnaise. So
like the chicken, I use the black pepper.
Okay.
Little vinegar.
Okay. So let's talk about what you used for the black pepper. I'm sorry, for the chicken. How did you season it? What were the ingredients you used in marinating?
It's just a fry. I fried the chicken. I added my black pepper to it. I added my vinegar, and that's all. And salt.
Okay. And salt.
Yes.
And we're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get right to it. Let's begin layering. Let's begin making our sandwich. This is a very, very, very simple and easy recipe. Something you can make in a go, or on the go rather, even for the kids or you at home, you know, having to rush out of the office or rush out of home, you know, to work, you know, you want to meet up with your staff boss.
Yes.
I think it's something you can just do in a
1 minute or 2 minutes.
Right, you're good to go. Yeah. And now let's talk about the other proteins that we can use for our sandwich.
It now depends. You can use a ketchup.
Okay.
Egg. You can even mix your salad with the cabbage, carrots, mix it together to make your sandwich.
Okay. Okay. So let's see how we're making this. So what goes in first? Are we going to cut off the crust from the bread?
Bread, yes.
Okay. So we're cutting off the crust from our bread. But then sometimes I'm indifferent. I don't know if I like my sandwich with the crust or without.
It's a choice.
Right.
So which one do you want? Today is a birthday, so
anything for me. Oh, thank you. Without the crust.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. All right, guys. If you're just joining us this morning, with me in the kitchen is Chef Tiflo, and she is making sandwich, chicken sandwich actually, because the protein we're making use of this morning is chicken breast. It's been well marinated and, you know, cut into tiny little strips. We also are making use of cheese, but I think you can go without your cheese, right? You can do without the cheese if you don't.
If you don't want this. But I love my sandwich
with cheese, right? That extra cheese in it, right? Great. Okay, so our sandwich preparation has begun. Chef Tiflo is at it already. While we're prepping things up and getting things ready here in the kitchen, let's head over to the couch. There's some newspaper headlines for us.
Thank you for sticking with us. And of course, sandwich is amazing for birthdays. Yeah. So now it's time for some newspaper headlines.
You don't see small chops in a sandwich. Sandwich
is great.
They're made of the
same thing. I don't know what you guys talk about. They're made of the same thing practically. Anyways, it's time for newspaper headlines. Stop it. And of course, I have Mike here with me, our in-house analyst.
Small chops, not sandwich, no. Don't be whining us.
All right, I will be starting with the Punch today. And here for the major headlines, we have contributory pension. NLC retires laments as 26 states fail to join the scheme. And for the writers here, we have Lagos, 5 others in full compliance. Contributory pension scheme inevitable, says PENCOM. Now, withholding pension immoral, says NLC. Retirement, now death sentence. Retirees kick. What do you have to say about that, Mike? I think it's actually very important.
You see, yes, now you see that second right idea says immoral. It's
immoral.
You know, of anybody to take away what they've done, the worst would be the old, the elderly. We will all get there, hopefully someday. Not everybody will get to be old. But then this pension is something that you have contributed to, probably your place of where you worked also contributed to, so it's your money and all of that. So it's disheartening when you see, you know, we used to see those long lines of people trying to get pension and all of that. So yes, I agree, it's immoral, it's despicable, it's words cannot describe it. When it comes to pension, look, for those ones, they are the elderly, they have worked their life, they get to a point where they can or might not be able to fend for themselves. Some might have business interests, some don't have. At this particular point in time, that is not something that we should be here. When we hear about the scams and all that happening around the pension benefits and all of that, it's not. It doesn't make for good listening.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, because I love the fact that now we have more young people thinking about businesses outside where they work. Then again, in those days, a lot of people relied solely on their pensions, thinking, okay, fine, when they graduate and when they retire, gratuities and things like that. So yes, of course, immoral is sure a word to describe it. So now moving on, we have more stories at the top of the papers. We have China to fund PH Maiduguri Kaduna Kanu rails. We have that on page 33. Anti-graft war should start from National Assembly. EFCC chair. We have that on page 7. Akpabio meets Tinubu, dismisses crisis in the Senate. And at the bottom there, of course, we'll take a quick trip to Gaza and the Israel issue. We have Gaza hospital attack sparks protest. Biden, Israel blame terror group. Ondo National Assembly asks Aida Tiwa to withdraw suit. We have that on page 24. Extortion, police remove DPO, try others after Punch reports. Page 5. Alafin, EFCC quizzes Oyo Kingmakers over bribery allegation. We have that on page 7. Now back to this Gaza-Israel story. There was a recent bombing on the Gaza hospital. So now blames are being pushed here and there. Israel is saying they're not the ones responsible. It was a misfire from
Hamas
and all of that. So what are you?
But you see, and the fun thing is that Biden also pledged some support for Palestine. And then somebody says, are you funding both sides of the war? But you know, in the end of all of this, I always say something to everybody, whatever view you have about the war. The point is that innocents, civilians, especially children, are dying. And so no matter your stance, no matter your position on this war, the most important thing should be compassion and understanding that as much as possible, there's collateral damage, but we wouldn't want that situation where civilians, women, and children are at risk. This was a hospital with many children, with injured people there, with people taking treatment and all that. Some people even came there for cover and all of that. And these are one of the ill effects of war. This is the part that we don't like. That no matter what side you might say you are on, the point is it's sad that this can happen to a hospital. There should be zones. These are kind of zones that, you know, they should be kept apart or outside war, whatever side you're on.
But
so it's quite sad.
It's sad because, I mean, in these times, you can avoid things like this. I think that is why, irrespective of, I don't even think the issue of side taking should even be mentioned. I mean, not so long ago, I know in Nigeria, we also released a statement that we have some other groups in Nigeria saying,
people, someone side
supports this one should support. But I think what everyone should be clamoring for now is the settlement, is peaceful, amicable negotiations, and for peace. In all of this, because in the end, it's not going to end in violence. Never literally solves any problem.
At all. At all.
So, yeah,
at all.
We need to move quickly on to The Nation right now for the major headline. This was also picked from the previous paper. We have more Chinese funding for rail power, other projects. And of course, this is something that a lot of people worry about.
That someday will just come and just find that our passport has changed. We're all Chinese. Or our children have sold all our country to Chinese to pay loans and all of that. I think it happened, what country now? Was that East Africa, where an airport now has been renamed after they were unable to meet their loans and all of that. And it was renamed, and it's now Chinese property. So we're now wondering how much of Nigeria will remain if we continue taking these loans. What are the terms for repayment?
Yes.
And all of that. We don't have access to all the information concerning the intricacies of these particular loans and all of that. But hey, come on, someone said something that if we look at it, we should not optimally have any business loaning money if we put our acts together. Yeah, well, you know, one day I know stand and if your name will be Chon Lee or something.
I think it's something that should really be thought about. Because as much as it seems like everyone is strategic, especially when it comes to country and country relations, right? And you think, okay, they're just helping a lending hand, and you have no idea what is being said. I mean, there's so many stories coming up with things like this, but then again, Wow. And at the top there, we have EFCC quizzes all your kingsmakers over laughing, twisting race for store. We have Senate not boiling, says Akpabio. Have you been following this Senate?
Oh, yeah, quite interesting and intriguing. Yeah. You know, we've seen some videos and all of that, the storming out and all of that, and they'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
Someone said something that one of the headlines that we read there, that when we're talking about the checks and balances, should start with the National Assembly.
Definitely.
Yes, let's start there.
Definitely should. But then again, it's a great thing that, I mean, Akpabio is assuring and keeps on reassuring that there's no problem. We agree to disagree, or we disagree to agree, or agree. Anyways, you should get the point. As Mike said, it will be fine, and that's all we have to take, or we can take, for the newspaper updates today. But so much more still coming right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Make sure you stick around. We'll take a quick break right now, and we'll be back.
All right, we have tech this morning, and we have Ositadima Bon Elebe, Marketing and Strategic Partnership Lead for Transfer Exo, one of the driving forces in the Transfer Exo team, championing the new narrative in Nigeria for the cryptocurrency industry. New narrative cryptocurrency. You're welcome. It's great to have you.
Thank you so much.
Cryptocurrency is something that, first of all, what's the government's stance on cryptocurrency at the moment?
Okay, yeah, so we understand that basically, like, the central bank does not recognize it properly as a legal tender at the moment, but we've come to see, even towards the eve of the departure of the last administration, to even adopt it to the extent of putting out a tax on blockchain or even digital assets. So we're beginning to see a bit of relaxation or adjustment to strong stance of the government.
Did the central bank, from the inception of crypto, was it accepted to a particular point and then it was cut down, or was it like it was still on the fringes? Was it legally acceptable at any point in time?
Yes, at the inception.
At inception,
yes, exactly.
It was legally acceptable, right?
Exactly.
Now, how many countries, do you have any data of how many countries maybe in Africa, around the world, that legally accepted, that their central banks or whatever, or their financial system accepts cryptocurrency as a mode of, transactions?
Well, I don't have such numbers of my head,
okay.
but we understand that cryptocurrency is gaining a lot of adoption, especially here in Africa.
Which are the major countries that you know, or the major around the world and even in Africa that adopt it?
For example, Syria alone.
Okay.
The government decided that they are going to become the #1 smart city or smart nation in the world, and cryptocurrency is a big adoption over there. And in Nigeria, which happens to be the second largest crypto market in the world.
Okay.
So you see that even in the lower demographics, or let me not say lower demographic, amongst young people most especially, between June last year to July this year, there's been 9% increase in crypto exchange transactions. That's over $50 billion. So there's wide adoption.
So how do we do it now? It will be P2P is allowed?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Since it is not legally allowed for transactions, how is it so that we still have this number as the second largest or the largest market and all of that? How is it being traded? Is it illegal? How do you trade it now, since the central bank doesn't allow it? Okay, so exactly with the central bank is that it's just like putting out a disclaimer to say, okay, this happens, but we are not liable, or we don't necessarily endorse it. Okay. But young people and individuals are going on, like you mentioned, peer-to-peer exchange. It's very, very rampant, and it's going, like, with the numbers you've seen, you will realize that there's a wide adoption and people are really embracing the whole concept. Right, okay, so now, a lot of people will tell you that, look, at the beginning of the crypto, there was a boom, sort of, and a lot of people joined it, and then after that boom, there's been some kind of a bearish movement, and some people lost money and all of that, especially with some firms. We know of some firms that, maybe with managing funds for customers and all of that happened. So this has reduced the faith of people in digital assets and blockchain and cryptocurrency. Exactly. What's the security people have now, or maybe with your firm? Okay. What security do they have? How can they be sure that their funds or whatever they put into their digital assets are secure? So, especially when the central bank doesn't back it. So exactly, we understand the fear. We understand how people are very much concerned about their funds, and so a lot of security measures have been put in place. Like, for example, in my company, we make use of the Azure security services. If you look out for Azure, it's global. Like, over 80% of Fortune 500 companies in the world are on that platform. And whatever security features they have, it's embedded and implemented on our platform. And then we also work with transparency, because we want people to really see everything as it is going on. On our platform, you will be able to see the history, order history, or how verified a user is before you make decisions whether to trade with them or not, right? So even for every other feature that we put out for our security, we have multi-layered authentication, right? And there are volumes that you might not be allowed to transact given the level of authentication we have with you. Available to you. Now, we heard of 1 or 2 big firms that were hacked. Now, and that is one thing that the blockchain has always rode on, that, it's hard to hack into it, to penetrate and all that. Exactly. But it happened. It happened. That means that it does happen, right? Yes. It can happen. That means it can be hacked into. Yeah. Generally, how do people secure themselves against those kind of scenarios? Okay. In a scenario like that, where there's a hack or something. Exactly. The thing is this: I think security is everybody's responsibility, and personal responsibility, not the firm. I'm going to say both for the platform or the exchange you're using, and you as a trader. As a trader, as an investor. So there are certain mistakes that even traders make. Not doing their due diligence or understanding how to decide what exchanges are reputable, right? Okay. You should be able to know the legitimacy, how compliant they are to regulations. You should be able to have seen how they run their operation and the security measures involved. So how do they store
their assets and how are they even insured. So you do your research on your own end, and then for a platform or even an exchange, you should be able to employ state-of-the-art security, cybersecurity measures.
Cybersecurity measures, exactly. That's, I think this month is Cybersecurity Month, by the way, Cybersecurity Awareness Month and all of that. Talking about it generally, now that is something that I know some people outsource it. When it comes to some firms outsource security and all of that, cybersecurity and all of that.
Exactly.
But just let's talk about cybersecurity for an individual. How important is it for you to know and understand cybersecurity measures and actually implement them? How important is it for individuals generally now?
I think it's very paramount to say, because as simple as not putting out your personal details, like for instance in cryptocurrency, your wallet ID, your transaction IDs, your wallet address, some of those things, you do not put them out in public space. And
okay, but your wallet ID is what you use to receive funds, right?
Exactly.
So it's almost like when people go on post and because of giveaway and put out their account numbers and all of that. So it's something like that. So those kind of things are not they're not the best practices.
Yes, exactly. You're almost shooting yourself in the foot, you know. And another thing is that something as simple as using a public Wi-Fi. You know, using public Wi-Fi to access your crypto account.
Your accounts.
Exactly, can be very, very...
So it's, you know, like I was saying, this is something I can even put, using the public Wi-Fi to access your bank details. In fact, your app or whatever as it were. So apart from your crypto apps, your financial apps and all of that, you open yourself to a risk of being...
A whole lot of risk, actually. And even for phishing, you know. So before you click on a link, before you want to respond to an email, verify the URL.
Please, when you say phishing now, some people think it's hook and nets. Please explain that when you say phishing now.
So phishing is basically these hackers or fraudulent people trying to imitate legitimate businesses or
and send mails.
And send mails or put out messages. On my way to this place today, I heard that either the AU was hacked with artificial intelligence, and video calls were sent out to leaders in European nations, you know. So things like that to imitate or impersonate a legitimate entity. So before you click anything, whether on your WhatsApp or your email to say, maybe verify we are this platform, look out for the URL and ensure that whatever you are clicking on is legitimate or
legitimate.
Exactly.
That would be a whole other discussion. I wish sometimes we can talk about cybersecurity some other time. But it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you so
very
much.
much.
I'm grateful.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's head over to the birthday goddess, who's set now with that one is not birthday food. I told you smart chops. I hope you're getting it set. How's it going there, ma'am?
It's going very well, Mike. Thank you very much. This is Tea Flow. Yeah. With the flow, with the food flow, Yes. So this morning, guys, she's making chicken sandwich. Birthday sandwich, she calls it. Okay, so let's run through the ingredients once again and tell us where, because you really need to take us through, you know, step by step on how to make a chicken sandwich. So let's go.
So I'll be using my mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, okay. So you're spreading right now on the bread. Yeah. Can you also use butter? What other spreads can you use?
I can use butter. So I just like to use the mayonnaise.
Okay.
Because this is appetizer. This is appetizer.
You don't need too much of it, just simple stuff, so it's not heavy. Great. Okay. So we have our latest. I want you to enjoy your birthday today, so that's why I'm making mine. Thank you. Thank you so much. So that's our cucumber.
This is lettuce. Step by step.
Okay.
This is my tomatoes.
Nice. Our tomatoes were very...
This is my cheese.
Thinly cut. So you can do with or without the cheese, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You can just mix your, cabbage with your carrots. Mix with a little mayonnaise.
If you want it richer, depends on how you like it. Okay. So now we are layering on our chicken. So you want to take us through how you made the chicken again?
The chicken is a stir-fried chicken.
Okay.
With my black pepper and salt.
And a little bit of salt. Great. Okay. Nice. This is quite a meal. The kids are definitely going to love this. Absolutely going to love that. And this is another interesting way to incorporate vegetables into their meals, right? Because I mean, you have the cucumber, you have tomatoes, you have
You can even make use of this
lettuce.
is just a cake.
Yeah. So even though they say, "Mommy, there's veggies in there," you say, "Hey, but you've got chicken in there as well." So yes. All right. Okay, so we're putting in more chicken. Oh, that's a double-layered chicken salad. Interesting. Aha. So are we taking off the crust?
No.
Okay.
You say you don't.
Well, I said with or without is fine. But it's okay.
But it's okay like
yeah,
this.
so you can do with or without the crust. And when I say crust, just in case you're wondering what's a crust, that is the layer, the side of your bread, you know, that brown layer. Do you like your bread brown or
I don't like it brown.
white? Because some people specifically ask for brown bread. They want it burnt. I really don't understand why though, but hey.
Some people even like strong bread, like 2 days bread or 3 days bread.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Can't be
So me, I don't like, I'm not a bread fan like that.
Okay, okay. So, yeah, so we talked about your vinegar, using vinegar later.
I use my vinegar for the chicken.
For the chicken, okay.
Yes.
So
For
basically,
just
a sprinkle of it,
yes.
yeah.
Just a drop.
Yeah.
So I'm cutting this.
Okay. Into a triangle shape. So as you can see right here on the table, we already have some already made sandwiches. It looks very, very, very nice. Aha, looks good. Great. Ooh. Okay, there you have it. You have your mayonnaise in there, cheese, cucumber, lettuce, and the chicken. That looks really good. Very good. It's my birthday sandwich. That's what Tiflo said. Yes. Okay, well done, Tiflo. Well done. I see the black pepper in the chicken. Looks very nice and it's going to taste really good. Okay, can't wait to dig into the sandwiches, guys. If it's you're making yours, kind of let us know. Tag us on all our social media platforms at TVC Connect. We have to go now. It's the top of the hour. I hope you're not going anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back shortly.
Good morning and welcome back to our beautiful morning show curated just for you.
Hope you're enjoying this show so far. If you were just joining us, then you've missed one full hour. But hey, come on, not to worry. We've still got at least 40 minutes more to 45 to ensure that you have the best of the day.
Yes, of course, absolutely. And if you're just joining us, we got a fantastic second hour just for you. Now, what's
We've had stuff in the first hour. We've had tech, where we spoke about cryptocurrency, of course, and some of the the dangers of cryptocurrency and when it comes to cybersecurity. The month is for, apart from cancer, is also a cybersecurity awareness month. So
Which is ready and ready to be eaten by the birthday girl.
Special.
That's stinginess that wants to kill us, but hey.
because
Whatever.
you see,
It's okay. We are
from our producer?
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Mike, I'm missing in the kitchen.
It's okay.
You do?
Yes.
Tiflo.
I'm missing Mike in the kitchen.
By the way, Anti-Flow, you're a correct person. So this is also happened. See what happened. You know what I'm talking about security and something. Me and Lima will just order the small chop. If I order the chef, we'll order the small chop and then they will send it to your account.
Now it's time for this amazing book that I've been speaking about from the beginning of the show. And of course, to talk about it with me, I have with me Aremo Yusuf Alabi Balogun. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria.
Thank you so much.
And the name of our book for this discuss today is Segilola Aromire Ogidon. Did I get that right?
Segilola Aromire Ogidon.
So meaning I didn't get it right. Segilola Aromire. We'll just leave it there. So tell me, what does it literally mean? I know you said it's a name, but what does it actually mean?
Well, it's like I said, it's a name. It takes the name of the actual character in the book, or should I say the main character in the book. And the book itself explores the idea of women in the society and dismantling shame generally upon women. I mean, when it comes to the idea of abuse, it's not just limited to one culture or one race now.
True.
It's the world entirely. So as a creative, I believe in exploring that angle of storytelling, and that was what I did with the book.
Yeah. So now, before we actually go into the actual story of the book now, I think I love the idea. I love the fact that the book is actually written in Yoruba. The only sad thing is that I can't read it. Now, why I love it is because of, I think you actually have you're taking a very conscious effort, or making a very conscious effort to trap our culture, our heritage. And I think that's very important because, I mean, with the events of like westernization, social media, all of that, we have a lot of these things being lost, right? But now we can like actually see a book that is really like totally written in Yoruba from top to bottom. So now it's something to write a book in English. It's tedious and taxing. But now to write it entirely in Yoruba is, I think, is a gift, right? So now tell me, did you first write this in English and then translate it? Or did you write it directly?
It was written directly in Yoruba language.
It was written direct. How long did it take you to get this book?
Well, I worked on it, the first manuscript, I worked on it in 2021. And this vinyl version is like the fourth draft of the work. So since 2021, I've been working on it and reworking on it till this very moment.
All right. Now, it has 370 pages now. Of course, you're talking about fourth draft. So now, how difficult was it to get people to help you edit and all of that? Because, I mean, getting book editors is not an easy thing. So how difficult was it to get someone to actually read it?
Well, I believe that when there is a will, there is always a way. So it's always about having the right people in your corner who understands the vision. Because particularly for a book like this, it goes beyond understanding the language.
Yes.
But even understanding the essence of what I'm trying to pass in the work and not mixing up, you know, the idea of the whole concept. But yeah, I was able to have good people and, you know, trustworthy people in my corners, and it's fastened up the process.
All right, so now what has the reception of this book been like since its release?
Well, I think for a Yoruba book, it's actually been great. Because, I mean, as of when I was working on it, a whole lot of people were like, you know, people who are writing in English haven't really had, you know, the stardom, not to talk of a book written in indigenous language. But at the end of the day, I feel like if we want to tell the stories of the people at the grassroots, we have to tell it in a language they understand. And so far, so good. People who are even non-Yorubas have gained acceptance of the work. And I feel like, yes, that is an encouragement for my drive and a validation to the foremost dream that I have, which is selling out O2 Arena London for Yoruba indigenous arts.
Whoa, that is actually a very big dream, which I actually see coming to pass considering your drive now. Talking about putting this book together, because I remember then while I was in school, right, I actually I studied literature. I studied law, but I actually literature was one of my major courses. And they actually usually sent us home to literally get folk tales and prose and things like that from our family, from our grandparents and all of that. So was that your case as well? Did you have to seek advice and help from the elderly, or are you that grounded in the Yoruba language?
Well, I think that right from time, I had that privilege of having people around me who speak Yoruba language, who are into Yoruba culture, watching core Yoruba movies, the Ogundes and they all growing up. So they all influenced my, my growth and, you know, my understanding of the creative space. I've always been performing in the Yoruba language. I've always been writing in the Yoruba language. So it was quite easy for me to, at some point though, yeah, there's always that one or two that you have to reconfirm from people. But for major part of the work, it was pretty easy to come up with for me. All
right, amazing. So now let's talk. Is this basically like Yoruba as we know it? Because I'm aware there are different types of. My husband's from Ekiti. Whenever I meet his mother, it's another language I'm talking about. I'm still struggling with the normal basic Yoruba. So now, what dialect is this written in?
Well, this is, should I say, this is. Some people will read this and still say it's the anglicized Yoruba, which many call the Lagos Yoruba in quotes. But yeah, this is like the anglicized Yoruba that I believe anyone can read.
Yeah, so easy to read and all of that. Okay, now, so we're talking about the main story here, about the, I don't know, something is telling me to attempt something, but I'm like, do I really want to do that? You know, I think I should leave it, Abby.
Well, you can try.
I can try. You want to embarrass me? But it's okay, I'll try. So now, chapter 1, I believe.
Yeah.
Orikini aye shari. Juwon is not like that. Pekini pekin on ojela ni wakiri. Please translate. What does that mean?
Orikini ayen sare.
Yeah.
So that particular paragraph was basically to encapsulate the idea of human endeavors and the need for survival.
Okay.
That, people rise up almost every day trying to look for a means to survival, a means to livelihood. And then it's at some point, it had a form of admonition that may we not end up being, prey to predators in the means of searching for what we actually want to eat and live on.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Okay, the truth is, I've actually been struggling to learn Yoruba. I actually have a genuine interest of learning. And I think things like this will actually help me learn. So now, do we have the translation of this book? Have you actually ever thought of having it translated so that people that are non-Yoruba speakers can actually enjoy?
Well, I think that if anyone decides that, yeah, they want to translate it into another language, I would be most glad to allow them. Because I feel that at the end of the day, I have a duty personally to gatekeep not just the language now, but the culture. Because when you lose the understanding of a language, you are not just losing the language, you are losing the nuances of that culture.
Very true.
So yeah, I have done my mission by writing in that language.
Yeah.
But yeah, if someone decides tomorrow that, yeah, they want to translate it into another language, absolutely.
All right.
It will be beautiful.
Amazing. So is this your first book?
Yes.
Well, it's definitely not going to be your last.
Definitely.
All right. So now quickly, just give us a brief summary of what the book is about. I know you spoke about it being about misogyny and things like that, but tell us, is there a storyline that explains all of that? So just give us a quick summary.
Yeah, Shegilola Aromerio Gidon in the book is actually a character who suffered from trauma projection from an abused mother. And it kind of built a kind of belief system in her head in which she used to actually accept toxic love from the people around her because that was the most available form of love she could see growing up. And because, she comes from, I make the book in such a way that there's a tradition of abused women giving birth to daughters who end up being abused. And then the circle continues. So till the very end of the book, there is a whole lot of shattering, there is a whole lot of, breaking apart. But then at the end of the day, you still see, as much as you see men committing abuse, you still see certain women being propagates of the abuse in a way.
Yes.
So SAO encapsulates the entire idea of abuse and how we cover up for abuse in our society, especially when it is someone who is a known face or, someone who will feel, yeah, it's a respected figure in the society.
Right, this is actually very interesting. I'm very sure there's a story to why you decided to go for the misogyny issue. Sadly, we can't take that right now because we're short on time. But thank you so much for actually being here. I honestly would like to read this book. Translate for us now, please. Even if it's audio version. We'll manage it. All right, thank you so much, Aramo. I think you're doing really great, and I'm totally looking forward to that dream. Otu Arena, I pin you to that one.
Thank you.
All right. Still so much to come right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Do stick around. We'll be right back.
And we are back. Thanks for staying with us. Now for our final discussion, we have a special guest on the show. I was telling him this morning that he feels like family.
Yeah. Yes, because we're really used to him being in our homes. Yes. Amazing. We have with us Jude Chukwuka. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria. As much as I'd like to read it all, but I don't think we need to because you're actually well known.
Yeah, like a family.
Yes, you are. You are now,
Okay.
And you have featured in a lot of movies and series. You have been in this industry since the 70s. Wow. Wow. It's been how? Yeah, it's even older than...
Yeah.
You've been in this industry longer than I've been on earth. What?
Don't make it look like I need to retire.
Oh,
No, you definitely don't.
But with our trade, the older you get, you become fine arts, contemporaries, whether they like it or not. We'll go at different times. And you become the only surviving character in that generation.
Yes.
And anybody who wants to reflect that generation will come to you to earn more money.
Right.
Yeah, because they can't readily find a replacement. Except they do AI, they do, or they do SFX. You understand that?
Yes.
Well, how does that truly make you feel? We have seen, God rest their souls, a lot of them have passed away. I mean, there's also Mr. Ibu, for example, who's recently in the hospital, you know, who's saying that he might get, you know, his legs amputated. How does that make you feel? I mean, seeing that all the people that you started this journey with have, you know, are no longer with you, are no longer with us, you know, especially, you know, in the industry.
Yeah. One, I don't want to sound predatory, but I would say this. It is how much you invest in yourself that you eventually reap, you understand. So when some of us were introduced to this stardom, we began to enjoy privileges we never had. And since some of us, it's human. You just see the opportunity and you want to make the best of it, not knowing that you are at the end of the day hurting yourself. Because all of these things will come with the perks of, you know, I was on a set. Part of what my manager signed for was I get 4 bottles of beer every night.
4 what?
Bottles of beer every night.
Every night.
After the day's job, I left with 4 bottles of beer.
So it's like,
wow.
So I told myself, do I really need 4 bottles of beer?
Mm-hmm. Every night.
Every night. So, like every night, the fridge, you find 4 bottles, stop. Then Sunday when we're not working, my room becomes a mini party joint because everybody knows that there are bottles of beer that I'm not drinking. But you know, some of us, they give us that, and some of us make sure we finish the 4 bottles every night. And for me, I'm like, hello, guy. When you begin to pay for this, I won't be there. You understand?
Yeah.
We don't project. We just see this is the now. Let's make what we can of it, not knowing that there is a time after this time. How do you handle that? And that's why we find ourselves in situations like this. And talking about Ibu, you know, when what's his name? The guy that died.
Sam Loco?
No. It's a Yoruba actor.
Okay.
Baba Suwe.
Okay.
When he died, I was on a set with Jide Kosoko and Dele Odule and all of that. So the people will come in the evenings after we shoot and they begin to ask questions, begin to interact. One of them said, why are you not raising money for, what's his name now? Baba Suwe. I wanted to respond, but Dele Odule was quick to say, hey, Jude, let me answer them. And his response, my mind wouldn't have gone there. You know, he was like, okay, before Baba Suwe became an actor, he came from a family. He went to school. He belongs to a place of worship. He lived in an area that if a thing like that befalls him, before he gets to the press,
what have they done?
His family will have stepped in. His place of worship would have stepped in. So these guys, when they come to press, the first question I ask is, how did they use their stardom? How did they relate with people in their homes? How did they relate with people that they went to school with? How do you understand? So when you are in unfriendly waters, before you come to the press, those guys that have always been your guy will be there for you. You get. So it's not more of what is happening now. It is how did we get to this point? Okay, like I gave you the example of 4 bottles of beer every night. If I were, because the thing in my mind is anything anybody can offer me, I can buy it. So why would I die to fulfill a contract of 4 bottles every night when I can waive it and people can enjoy it at the end of the week, because we had a 4-week production, and that was it. So that's how we get here. So when you ask me, how do I feel about this, how do I feel? The younger ones are seeing it happen, and they are worse. They drink all manner of, they will mix this, mix that, drink it, and before you know what's happening, they are they say they are very happy. And I say, I don't want to join your joy. Just leave me like this.
Okay, so now, I mean, being in this industry for this long, it's not easy now. maintaining consistency, and then, of course, preserving relevance. It's something that people find very, very important and would do anything to do now. Yeah. So now I think when I meet people from your generation, even in life generation, not only in the industry, I love to actually ask how the journey has been watching the times change consistently. So how has that journey been for you?
Oh, interesting. Very. I wouldn't change anything. I'll go through that same path. I will meet the same people. I want them to do the good things and the bad things they did to me. You know, I wouldn't change anything. But you see, in the industry, we were brought up by the generation that cared about the project more than the business angle of it. You understand?
True.
So we had this mentality, it's art for arts. You understand? So before we could switch from art to business, the people that had the art from art for business mentality had taken all of the space. You understand? So we grew up, and I have no regrets doing that. I have no regrets. And I wouldn't say it is a deliberate thing, but I just find myself reinventing myself at every stage. You know, acting wasn't enough, then the beard came, beard wasn't enough, then the vibes came, vibes wasn't enough, then the Yoruba came, Yoruba wasn't enough, the year we came, the year wasn't enough, Owe came, Owe is, you know, so what I'm saying is I have tried to reinvent myself to keep up with the change in time.
So you're not battling with the change?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I reinvent myself. When I say I reinvent myself, it is not a product of a conscious reasoning. No. It's just that I find myself doing that, and it becomes what is right for me for that time. So I don't want people to think I'm very intelligent, that I'm thinking, no. I just find myself doing this, and it will become the right thing for that time. It's not as if I studied, I surveyed, I checked. No. And so far, it had gotten me to this point, and I keep cutting the kind of respect and patronage. You know, that's it.
Oh, I mean, this conversation has been quite insightful. Yes. I mean, very short, but very, very insightful. Thank you so much for always sharing your wisdom with us.
Honored. I'm honored.
To reward you for all that you've shared with us, your knowledge this morning. Please, we'll have something for you.
We don't have 4 bottles of beer. We don't. But we have some breakfast.
That's more rewarding.
Yes.
I mean, there's vegetables in there, so it's also going to nourish your body,
good for my
nourish your mind. Welcome to the kitchen. This is Chef Tiflowo. You've introduced yourselves. This morning she's made for you chicken sandwich and salad. So please enjoy.
I will eat it for television.
Okay.
I don't always eat something like this. I love fufu.
It's because you are from...
When we're shooting Castle and Castle, you know, they serve this kind of thing, and I told me, please, Auntie, I don't eat this kind of thing. I cannot leave my house and say I want to go and eat peri-peri.
No. But help us with this one.
Okay, let me see how it tastes.
Let's know how, yes.
It has all the vitamins.
Yeah, it has everything. It told you. What do you think, sir? You like it? Love it?
But the veggies okay?
What else?
Cheese, eh?
Okay. Nice, yeah? Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Tiflo. Thank you to everyone who's been on the show this morning. We appreciate you. And it's a wrap on the show, guys.
It is a wrap, but we'll be here same time, same station tomorrow.
The show wrapped. Goddess. Happy birthday once again,
and happy birthday.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you.
Oh, you're back?
Yes, it is.
Oh, my God.